Ah, what a great day to start a new Skyblock world. What is this? Usually there's not a hole here. What is that down there? Seems familiar. I guess let's go. Of course, I'm just messing around, everybody. We are back on our ATM9 to the Sky island that we left off. I think it's more than a month ago, but definitely we are back, and I was working on something last episode. I didn't even watch the previous episode just to see what I did, but I know I was trying to improve our sifting system here, and I think it's changed quite a bit since last time. Now we have 5 sifters here. Each one is doing a different block. This one is doing dust, sand, gravel. And this one is doing deep slate, and what is this? Blackstone, I think. Yes, we have some blackstone, which comes from these igneous extruders. These are not as efficient as the ones over here because these generate from our cobblestone generator. From these two other rocks, we get some netherite scraps from the deep slate, from the blackstone, and from the deep slate we get uranium here, which we'll need for a bigger reactor or biggest reactors or whatever the mod is called, because as I also have noticed, this power generating system, which is using a gas burning generator, can't really keep up. Well, I mean, this system and more specifically can't keep up. That is not really a big issue because we are generating quite a few of these natural resources like cactus or cacti, which we can also put in our crusher, and this will give us biofuel. So technically we can just pump up all of those cacti uh, from downstairs up to this crusher, and we don't actually need this phytogenic isolator and this seed setup. I did actually do a small change which I got from a comment, which is again nice. Of course, leave some comments for optimizations for my systems, because the commenter told me that you can actually set a side, where is it? Yeah, here, to input and output, and we can just put a drawer next to it. As long as we have some seeds in this drawer and it doesn't run out, it will always have seeds and it will always put them into this input slot. Again, I'm not sure if I showed this before, but I got the ice from this machine over here. So we have a atom, and this compactor that compacts H2O into ice, and then we can just use it for, well, anything we need, and we pump some water from a sink. I probably should go a little bit more in depth about this system. So we have hammers hammering down cobblestone in a row. So this is how this gets dust. We have these diamond upgrades, because currently I think this is the best our power generation can support, and we have a lot of resources anyway, so we have 22,000 diamonds. Under our first sieve here, there is this main output chest, and this is where all of these sieves gather up their drops, and then they get compacted with this advanced compacting upgrade. If I remember correctly, we tried different methods. This one is by far the best one because this doesn't use any power or anything. Everything that comes in here gets compacted. I have set up a filter. I'm not sure if you actually need to set it up, but this is how I did it. And then everything that can be smelted goes into a furnace, and everything that cannot just goes into our wall of items. And to achieve this filtering system, we have a couple of ultimate pipe upgrades that take only these set items. So the Iesnium, God with these names. This Iesnium comes from one of these ores or one of these stones. We also have a filter here that is just forge ores, and forge ores mean, well, any ores that we get from these chunks and we compact them, right? So nickel ore is a forge ore. In the tags you can see under the name. As well as we have a filter here where we don't, so we need a way to block this pipe from sending all of the chunks into our system, so we just set up a blacklist where we don't send any ores or chunks into our system. I just realized we don't have the insonium, or what is it called? Ionium filter, but I don't think there is any raw ionium here, so it still works. And after that, there is another pipe which just sorts our cobble deep slate and our blackstone. So because when these get sifted, they give you these chunks that are also in the compacting, or pebbles that are in this compacting filter. So when these get compacted, they get sent to our system. The only reason we really send it into our system is if we get a backlog. There is a place to store them essentially, and it doesn't clog up our chests here. So they get sent back into these drawers. This one is full, for example, then back into our system, and it's an endless cycle. This way, we are a bit more efficient with our resources, I guess, because these don't generate a lot, but because when we sift them, we get some back. This is, relatively self-sustaining. So we can see actually this drawer I think is empty and this one is full. That means we get more blackstone from, sifting blackstone than we do get deep slate. Oh, and these ones are only on a single diamond upgrade. I probably could upgrade this one, and this one can even be downgraded because we don't get enough deep slate. That doesn't really matter right now. Eventually, we will want to have netherite upgrades in all of these. First, we just need some more power. But before that, let's check on some quests. So last time we went to the nether and got ourselves these smithing templates, kind of skipping this quest with these demon seeds, demon's dream seeds. And we kind of skipped occultism, I guess, as well. But we'll get into that at some other point. I thought maybe, because there is a quest for this flux dust, which we will definitely want because this is the main mod we will use for wireless power. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. And to get this flux dust, which is like the entry item or whatever, to get into this mod, we need to use redstone on bedrock and crush it with obsidian. And to get bedrock, the mod suggests we go to the end. So because we haven't been to the end and we also have a dragon to slay, I thought maybe let's try and, before we continue on with this quest line, let's try and get some enchanted gear so we can actually kill the dragon. The cake is pretty easy to make and we have everything. So this cake, when we eat it, will take us to the end, I think, right? And after that, we can kill the dragon pretty easily. And there is a quest line, Apotheosis Enchanting. This is the one we're looking for enchanting. We can see there is quite a bit here, and there are quite a few interesting tutorials. This is the main mod we use to get overpowered enchantments. Probably not going to get into it too much at first because there maybe a lot of stuff we need, and as well as we need XP because we currently don't have a way to generate XP. We might also look into that before we, get even more into this. That's really the issue with modded Minecraft. There is a mod I want to get into, but I feel like I need to start with some other mod to get a good setup for, the mod I'm looking for. In this case, I want to get into, Flux Networks, which requires us to go to the end. But before I go to the end, I would like to enchant my gear. Before I start enchanting, I would like to get a lot of levels and a good enchanting setup. And to get a lot of levels, we need to farm mobs, right? And there is also a Apotheosis Spawners questline here, which tells us about how these, special spawners kind of work. But I thought there is a pretty easy way to get some early XP maybe with these chicken feeds, or these ones are the cursed ones, which will spawn a lot of hostile mobs. Well, it's pretty instant. It kind of works like a spawner. So I thought maybe with this mob grinding utilities mod, we could, just set up a quick and easy experience system. Maybe it's not that easy. I think I'll give it a shot and I'll try to explain what I do along the way. And after that, we get into enchanting and killing the dragon, hopefully everything in this episode. First things first, we need to make some items so we can actually start working on our mob system. And instead of crafting all of these manually, we can actually use our storage system here. I have already upgraded these to netherite crafters, so they work 125 times faster than the basic ones, which is insane in comparison. Also, I hooked up our furnace to our system, so instead of smelting stuff manually, we can do it automatically. And the only thing left for us to do is actually make the recipes in our pattern grid here. And I think you've seen all of this before. We just do the autocomplete thing, extract or create, and we have a pattern, and now we can put it in our crafter. And of course, these are not the only ways to, for example, move mobs or spawn mobs, but I just like to do it this way because I think it's pretty cheap and easy to do. So that's why we'll do it this way. Also, a quick thing I forgot to mention is to get items out of our furnace into our system, we need to use a importer. This is an advanced importer, so it's faster, I think, and maybe it has more filter slots. But the big thing is we need to use stack upgrades and speed upgrades so it can keep up with the rate our furnace smelts stuff. For example, if we put in stone, it does it very quickly, and it also takes it out very quickly and puts it into our system. Well, I have spent a few minutes building here, and animals like to get stuck up here, and the chicken is gone. This is the basic idea for my mob system here. So we have 4 5x5 dirt patches, which will be turned into dreadful dirt using these rotten eggs we get from these cursed chicken feeds. And we will put a vector plates on top. And mobs do still spawn. These don't count as like a slab would or a pressure plate would. And these push mobs around. So every time they spawn, they get pushed down here. There will be some more over here if we do it like so. Oops, wrong direction. And pushed into our mob mashers. These will spin. It's a nice animation, and it's pretty good looking for a Minecraft texture, right? These will spin. These also have upgrades, so hopefully I can make some looting upgrades, which require some looting enchanted books, which is kind of specific, but yeah, hopefully we get them. And that way we get a lot of drops only from a few mobs, and we might not need to improve the system much more. Of course, we can easily expand it, and there are a lot of other ways to spawn mobs in the future, but I like this small and cozy idea here. I only need to figure out how to stop mobs from, well, pushing each other off and just kind of extincting the island by themselves. Oh, and the lights up here will prevent mobs from spawning, because, well, these will be full walls, or maybe we'll do this tinted glass, which doesn't let light through. But when we hook up a redstone, was it a receiver of some sorts up there, when we turn these off, mobs will start spawning. When we turn them on, we can shut off the system easily. So that way, we don't, keep it running if we don't need to. Alrighty, I think we have it 95% done. The only couple things we have left is to actually fill these grinders up with upgrades so they kill mobs faster, as well as we need the actual dreadful dirt, which I'll show you in just a second. I just wanted to show you how this light system works with this redstone transmitter. So if we flick the switch, you can see it's quite dark in here, and because of the tinted glass, we can actually see what's going on inside, but the light doesn't pass through. So if we turn it back on, I have a hole over here. You can see we have a wireless, or it's called a redstone receiver. You just need to right click. So if we go pick it up, I guess, just to show you, we have a channel for it. I have set it to mobs, but for some reason it's just channel 3. We right click, and now it's connected. Very simple. Place it down, and yeah, that's how it works. To get the chicken feed itself, we first need some liquid XP. And as you can see, my levels are at 0 because I drained them all. There are these XP drains with tanks attached to them. They store 32 buckets, but I poured it all into a jumbo tank, which stores 1,000 buckets, and it's 1/3 full. So that was, I think, around 120 levels, which is a lot, and we will probably need a lot more than that, right? And we just pick up some buckets, makes a loud sound, and we have our XP bucket. So that's pretty simple. Now we can make our feeds. Hopefully we have enough chickens on our island because they do kind of pass away to the other side when we feed them, and you'll see the animation. Right click, and they just make a kind of a creepy sound, but now we have a rotten egg. And we need 4 in total, so we need to sacrifice 4 chickens. It should be as simple as just right-clicking, oh, a loud sound again, and it all turned to this dreadful dirt. So it's completely black with this kind of a ender effect. And so I have this actually ender inhibitor up here. It only works 8 blocks away. Hopefully the endermen that are here won't teleport if they even spawn. I'm not sure. They should, right? And with that, I think it's time for the moment of truth. Bams. And we got some mob spawning. It's actually not as much as I expected. It's going to get kind of loud. The only thing I'm worried about is hopefully there are not mobs that can't die on these. For example, sometimes there are some flying mobs in modded Minecraft, but currently it seems to be working quite well, right? And if we step back, I'm not sure if it makes a difference if we're a bit further back. I guess it doesn't. Yeah, but they're also getting a lot of drops, which I'm not sure what are even used for. We, of course, need to still set up a collection system that will collect all of these drops, and we can see what interesting we get. But yep, this is our system, and we're getting some XP. I have set up here a temporary collection system with this absorption hopper, which we'll probably use in the full system as well. But this little fella can pick up blocks behind walls in a pretty large area, as you can see here. It also goes down a little bit, but this is probably the thing we'll use to collect all the drops, because it also collects XP, because it's a liquid, considered a liquid, and we can put it in a tank. There is also this XP tap you can attach to a tank, and it works, just like a tap. And I can drain all of the XP from this tank. Currently, this is completely fine for doing some basic enchanting, I guess. Also, the drops. The issue with the collection system here is we need to set up some pipes with some specific filters so we can filter out all of these items and just trash them away because we probably won't need them. Also, yeah, there might be some items which we have not received yet. For example, these spoils bags, which just contain some items in them if we check one out. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with these, if these can have something useful, because, well, currently it doesn't look like much. Maybe. What is this? Midst of distant battles. Alright. Our basic XP needs are covered, so let's look into Apotheosis Enchanting. And the first thing we need is just an enchanting table. I would assume everybody knows how to make a vanilla enchanting table. So the first quest says, a few changes with Apotheosis. Right. To summarize it, 15 bookshelves won't be enough now. There are new bookshelves and actions you can do with enchanting tables now, and hopefully these quests will help you understand. I do know some basics, but let's just try and do these quests in order. And the next one is to just max out a basic enchanting setup. Alright, pretty simple start. Infusion is a special version of enchanting which ironically is used for better enchantments. Alright, and there are the 3 elements which we need to I guess look out for when we infuse, because some items require special amounts. Again, first let's just put down our basic enchanting setup like we do in vanilla Minecraft with these 15 bookshelves. And here we can see the 3 different elements that are added with this mod: Eterna, Quanta, and Arcana. Each of these does something different. This sets the max enchanting level of items. That means the higher the Eterna, the higher enchantment we can get. For example, Our sharpness 6 sword is not even that good. I think it goes even up to sharpness 10. Quanta increases the randomness and some negative effects we can get, but as you can see, there is a rectification, uh, I guess, effect you can also get on bookshelves, which decreases the negative effect possibilities. And Arcana just makes rarer enchantments more common. Oh, and also increases the number of enchantments you can get on an item. So again, we have 5 enchantments on our sword. Probably we can get even up to 10, depending on if we actually need that many. But currently, I think we'll only dabble with the basics of this mod because, well, ultimately I'm doing this just so we can efficiently kill the dragon and get ourselves the flux networks going. I don't think we can make any seashells because we don't have any pufferfish. We could probably get them. Again, I'm a bit lazy, honestly. I just want to get the dragon fight over with. It's not that important, and we kind of already can do it. But you know me, I really do like my enchantments, and I like having nice enchanted stuff. So realistically, we could probably already kill him. We have some nice trader items, but I like enchanting. And a important thing to point out is at the top you can see it says Eterna max 15 for these basic bookshelves. So we do need higher tier bookshelves to get higher tier enchantments, right? And just having lots of bookshelves doesn't make the enchantments higher. We need to actually have some shelves that can support higher tier enchantments, like the hell shelves, for example, can support 22.5, and I think it goes up to 50 even. So this is 45 and this is 50, and these are very specific ones where we need a dragon head. So it is also important to, kill the dragon and go to the end because we need all of this stuff. So actually we also need to get some dragon's breaths, right? So we can do some of these crafts. Well, I stepped away for a few hours and left the game running so we could maybe just stock up on some XP and as well as some items we got. I did change out the tank to a crystal because the tank filled up relatively quickly. We have 252 levels, which is a lot because of how XP storage scales. So if we retrieve 50 levels, this is only 2 levels from 252. So this is a lot. It'll probably be enough for us to enchant some gear. And also, I hooked up a trash can with a filter, which just filters out the tools, armor, and quivers. But there are these ability totems, and I already have some equipped. For example, Strength 5 actually gives us 15 attack damage, which is insane, honestly. So that's actually even better than our current sword is, so it doubles the strength of our sword. And there are quite a few ones. There are some more rare ones which have a different color. These ones here, which are kind of purplish. Uh, we get Hero of the Village, which just I think reduces trading costs. But there are interesting ones, and we will probably use these because these seem kind of overpowered, and they're pretty simple to get. We just leave the farm running and we stock up. Well, you do need some XP to use them, but I mean, again, this is a XP farm, so that's not an issue. You can store all of your abilities in this ability bottle. Also, pretty simple to make. You just, for example, luck. You can store it in the bottle. You can see this has luck 1 now. These do have limits. For example, strength 5 is the actual limit, but, well, again, 15 attack damage is a lot. I also found a funny interaction with haste 5. So we have haste 5 now on ourselves. We can see here. It says 50 attack speed, but I think haste is more for mining, right? But we have haste 5 and we break dirt. Our hand doesn't actually move. We break it quite quickly, but it doesn't move. The animation doesn't show. I'm not sure if the sword doesn't actually swing when we attack, which is kind of funny. Another one I just found are these attack steroids, and you can get it up to level 10. But I currently have them at 7. I could get them up to 10, but if I equip my sword now and I click, you might hear the click. I'll, hit the mouse. You don't actually see the sword moving, but we actually do hit, and the hits are instant. It looks kind of janky, but I mean, it seems insanely overpowered because we can just hit things really fast. There is no cooldown, just like in old school Minecraft. So I actually figured out what are the negative effects of using these buffs because I thought they're actually OP, but you use hunger. I mean, you lose hunger and you use your food very quickly. As you can see, the bar is already moving. Maybe you can see, and I've been losing hunger. This is maybe in the last couple of minutes, I lost, half a hunger bar, and I don't even have the max amount of effects I could. I have him in the bottle. I took him out because I was confused. Why was I losing hunger so fast? Should have figured this out earlier because I did, while I was standing AFK, die of hunger. And I thought, well, maybe I forgot to eat or something, but you don't usually die of hunger in while standing still. So that was because I had a couple of these effects on without really realizing it was eating away at my hunger. So that means we probably don't want to use all of these effects, well, most of the time, really when we need them, for example, for a dragon fight, right? So otherwise, these just stay off. As hyped as I was, I guess it was too good to be true, and we still need to do our enchanting, so let's finally get to it, right? These are the hell shelves. We got these, from just crafting them. Pretty simple. We needed some gas tiers for region potions, blaze rods we already had. We actually had some gas tiers already as well from sifting soul sand, maybe? Not sure, don't remember. But now we can actually have level 45 enchantments, and we can see we have a lot of chaos because these do provide a lot of quanta, which is the chaos uh, modifier. And but yeah, I mean, let's just try to do an enchantment on our Paxel, our 45. It says it's soulbound, and we didn't actually have. I mean, we didn't actually get any negative effects. We only got XP boost, efficiency, and soulbound. Not great, but not terrible. And you can see you can actually enchant efficiency 5 straight from the enchanting table. You don't need to combine it in a anvil as you do in vanilla. And with this, there is a new mechanic as well, the infusion. I think I talked about it already, but we can infuse certain things to get, I guess, better versions of them. And one of them is a infused hell shelf, which requires a level 45 infusion, but it requires some specific levels or amounts of these elements or whatever they're called. Not sure, but we need at least 22.5 Eterna and at least 30% Quanta. And if we check our bench here, I think we should have it. Yeah, we have way over. So let's do a infusion. So we need some lapis, infusion, and this is also a quest, I think, but we may need more than one. We need 5 infused hell shelves. The next ones, and probably the last ones we'll do for now before the fight, are the glowing shelves, which just require some glowstone, and the infused ones. I did actually infuse all the hell shelves because why not? And with this setup of 10 glowing shelves and 6 infused ones, we can do level 60 enchantments. This is enough of these elements to also infuse the next tier, but I think before the fight this is going to be fine. There is one more thing we do want to do before we start enchanting something. We want to get this enchantment library. Pretty simple to make. We just need, again, these infused hell shelves with some other stuff. And this will allow us to store all of our enchantments in just this one library. It doesn't look like much, but this is one of the most important blocks in this mod. We have a few books we stocked up from I'm not sure where, but we can just shift click all of them in here. You have some sound feedback, and you can see what kind of enchantments you have here and what is the highest available tier in that library, right? And as you can see, we have, oops, I kind of spoiled it. We have efficiency 3 and we have some stored points. And each time we take things out, we lose those points to the point where we actually lose the enchantment completely. But the great thing about this mod is that you can just take out a level 1 enchantment if you need, if you just click once. So we can have 4 level 1 enchantments for efficiency, or we can just have 1 level 3 efficiency book. So this way we can just feed any books we want and we can take out them as we need them. Let's enchant some books at level 60. We don't really care what's on them. We just do some quick enchanting and we will store all of this in our library and see what are the results. And this is what we got from 8 books at level 60. We have quite a few enchantments. Let's check these bars so we can see some bars are higher and you can see maxed level available is 8. And if we have enough points, we can just take out a frostbite level 8. This means, well, any books many enchantments we want on our uh, items, we can just get through here. This is probably better than enchanting your tools straight up because, well, you might get something you don't want. This way you can mitigate that. Okay, and now seriously, one last thing. We can actually make specialized enchantment books. So we have a Tome of Archers, and this will only get bow enchantments. For chest plates, for swords, there are quite a few of these. So if you want to make a good bow, it's better to use these instead of just getting random enchantments because, well, of course, they're more likely. I placed down the end cake and looks kind of sad. I thought it was going to be a full cake, but I guess it's just one slice. So we need to make more if you want to go to the end again. But yeah, so this is the gear I enchanted. So I did a bow with a lot of good enchantments. This is only from 6 bow books, which is insane. So this bow is very powerful. See, infinite arrows, super quick, super far, all good. I did add some enchantments to my chest plate, some blast protection, just from the dragon attacks, I think. So some of them have blasts. Otherwise, some more hearts. I'm breaking. Pretty simple, not much. Honestly, I think this is going to be way too easy. Apples are pretty good. I probably won't use the ability bottle because it is a bit OP and the food thing. Yeah, I think it will be more fun without it. So yeah, I think let's. Oh, we need some bottles for Dragon's Breath, right? What even is my plan? I need a good way to get to the end without needing to make a cake all this time. So we should make a waystone probably, right? Have everything I do. Let's make a couple of waystones. So we do one home and we'll do the other one at the end. So let's not forget that. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Where is he? The end. I think so. A bit of lag. We see the dragon. Can we dig up without dying? Oh, it's not even really modified the fight itself. I think it should be pretty easy. We have a jetpack. We have an insane bow. Dragon stands no chance. Let's shoot him once to see how much damage we do, right? If I could aim. Yeah, that's a lot. I think he has no chance, right? Oh, that was pretty fast. Oh, there's one more crystal. Let's not forget, I need some dragon's breaths. This is the only way I think you can get them. Ender air bottle, okay? I need these, not some ender air. Well, this is definitely anticlimactic because I kind of need him to... Oh, the bedrock texture has changed. I kind of need him to shoot at me so I can get some of these bottles, right? Conium dust. Oh, that's some... Actually, ores we need for a different mod. Cool. I think I will try to get a stack, maybe. Because he kind of is slow at shooting me. I think with the ability bottle we will have completely destroyed him. Oh, we got some draconium drops. And some scales. I'm not sure what all of these are used for, but they seem cool. We also have a heart, a dragon heart. And now we can just place our waystone down, call it end, and we can just go home. Or, you know, we can actually finish the game as it's supposed to be done. Oh, and we actually get a dragon's head without needing to go to the End Islands or Highlands or whatever they're called, because we get this from the quest. Cool, in our bounty board. And finally, after all these years, we can, well, we have one more quest. We need to get a moss block, which we get from grass seeds. Very nice, just to get it out of the way. Not sure what it's used for yet. I guess getting villagers and getting the warden, but we're interested in these flux dust. We're back at the end and let's try to finally do this. So we throw it on the ground. I think I should disable my magnet. And right click? I'll left click. All right. Okay, and we have our flux dust. And I think that's the only time we need to do this because crushing the redstone into flux dust, once you have a flux block, you can use that instead of bedrock. Oh, so we can do this same trick not on bedrock but on a flux block. Cool. So I think we'll just do a few stacks so we have some. Actually, I'm kind of curious, can I do 2 stacks? Because I mean that would be convenient. Let's click. Yes, we can. I think that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. We do have a new mod to look at called the Flux Networks, and we will definitely set it up in the next episode. This episode was kind of all over the place because we had a lot of things we wanted to do, like enchanting, mob system, killing the dragon, which honestly wasn't. I mean, it took like a couple of minutes only, but it's the idea. I wanted to set it all up so it's a grand fight. All right, that's going to be it. See you hopefully very soon. Bye bye.